Hey, welcome to the show. It's Ringside Report MMA. Tonight, we're going to preview UFC Vegas 46, Kattar versus Chikadze. We've also got Colby Covington fighting Jorge Masvidal coming up, a big fight announced, and Conor McGregor's pub in Dublin got firebombed. Let's do this thing.
Let's go!
Hey, oh, what was that? AJ, what is going on?
COVID cough, man.
All right.
What the hell? Why am I so black?
Whoa.
Why am I so black again?
We could do a color swap on AJ, apparently. We can make your clothes disappear. We can do all sorts of stuff with you. Because
Listen,
you're
I'm
wearing
green for a reason.
So you're like a human green screen, apparently. I've been told that we can do all sorts of things to you. There you go. You just switch back.
Put the green back, man. I need the luck of the Irish, man. I'm looking for the luck of the Irish because tomorrow I got my mechanic calling me to give me his estimation on my car. So that mofo better give me a good price, man. So I'm praying to the gods of Ireland to make sure that it comes out good.
Yes.
AJ's carless.
Because you've been having car troubles, right?
Since Christmas, man.
Yeah.
Talk about firebomb. My car went up in fire. It was a barbecue itself.
Yeah. So you still have no car?
No car, bud.
Man. That's no good.
Conor has no in. AJ has no car.
Yeah. And
but I need Conor's luck, man.
We'll talk about Conor. We'll also give you some picks. Finally, first UFC show since December 18th. It's been a long time,
Happy New
guys.
Year, man.
Right, Fred? Finally, we have something to talk
man.
about. Yeah, other than AJ.
Yeah. Full month without action. That was... I don't think the UFC... do they always do that every year? I feel like this has been one of their longest break. But anyways, happy to see some fights finally.
Calvin,
yeah, it was a long break, man.
Calvin Kattar, Giga Chikadze should be a good main event coming up Saturday night.
I like to call him Giga.
Giga Chikadze?
Yeah. I find it's better. Sounds better.
Giga, like Gigolo.
Yeah, Giga. He's from Georgia, not Atlanta, Georgia. He's from, Georgia, the country.
Giga from Georgia, the Gigolo.
Yeah, kickboxer.
I like it,
very good. He's a talented guy. This guy might be the next featherweight champion. He wanted the featherweight title fight. We could get right into it. Holloway is out. We were talking about this fight last week. Holloway Volkanovsky. It was supposed to take place on March 5th as the main event for UFC 272. That fight is canceled. Holloway is injured. Volkanovsky is now going to fight Korean Zombie on April 9th at UFC 273. So they're bumping that fight a month later. They're also moving the co-main event, Petr Yan and Aljamain Sterling for the bantamweight title. They're moving that fight to UFC 273 on April 9th. It's supposed to be in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Yeah, and then March 5th, the UFC 272 card that no longer had their main event or co-main event now gets a new main event, 5 rounds, Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington.
Wow,
damn,
that's getting
crazy,
good.
Man. That would have been a
Jorge
great fight
better
to
show
start
up.
the year, man. Listen, man, that would have been a perfect fight for this Saturday to start the year, man. That's the fight I would have loved to see, man. But hey, listen, Kattar is good, man. Giga's good, but it's not like, a big name like Masvidal.
But that's
or
next
Colby
week.
Fighting, where there's
Next
it is
week
next
is
week,
the
but it would have
big
been great
night,
to start it.
and it's a pay-per-view.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Like
different.
fight night and pay-per-view.
That's right.
Man.
Fred, what do you mean is you hope Masvidal shows up? You don't think he's going to show up to the fight, or
No,
you think he's...
that's what Covington said.
Oh.
Covington said Masvidal better show up and not fake an injury or something like that. So for Colby to say that, he better not get injured because after that he'll look stupid. But hey, he's already trash talking. I love it. I love that matchup. I think these two have a history, man. They used to be friends, maybe a little bit are friends. They're fighting for the love of Donald Trump also. Let's not forget that. So
Yeah.
I'm hype. That's a great fight.
They're MAGA guys. Listen, man, and they were both together. You're right, Freddie, at American Top Team, man. These guys had a history together, but for some reason there's a falling out. Like there's really like a dislike for each other. I don't know what happened, but I'd love to find out. But man, this is going to be a fireworks fight, big time, man. And you're right, man. They're
Colby
fighting for the
says
love
he
of
used
Trump.
to whoop him. Colby says
Really?
he used to whoop him, and you know what? I kind of believe him because, I mean, Colby's a good wrestler, man. If we're talking like some grappling matches and all that, man, I could see Colby just like dominating Masvidal. So
Yeah.
we'll see, man. I got Colby right away. I'll tell you that. I got Colby winning that fight.
Yeah, easily. That seems like easy money to me. I'm seeing opening odds right now. Covington minus 350, Masvidal plus 285. But even at that number, it seems like, come on. I mean, Masvidal's not winning that fight. There's no way. And I understand they have a personal beef, and there's been trash talk and all of this. But they're at different stages of their career right now. They're at different levels. I just see Colby Covington throttling Jorge Masvidal, and I don't see that being much of a fight. Like, I get it, and the press conference will be cool, and the build-up will be cool, but the fight itself, I mean, it could be a good fight, but Colby beats Masvidal. All right.
Listen, man, did you say, Freddie, that they used to live together?
Yeah, they used to live together, and it's all about the build-up. Yeah, the fight, I don't expect that much from the fight because I think Colby's going to fight smartly. The Colby fight, he's got a good fight IQ, and so does Masvidal. But I just think that Colby has better skills, and it's a better matchup for him. So I expect him to dominate that fight. But with that said, the build-up is going to be fun. The trash talk is going to be fun, and look, I'm not going to lie. I love that aspect, man. That brings people to the show.
You're right, man. I can't wait for the pre-conference. I can't wait for the stare down. Man, it's going to be insane, and that's what you need. You need a build-up fight like that. That's why I was saying it would have been awesome to like pump this fight for the first fight of the year. Because of the long layoff, it would have been a great way to start because there could have been a real build-up for like 4 weeks of waiting and 4 weeks of trashing to see this fight coming up as the first fight of the year. Listen, it's happening next week. Yep. And
What?
you know what? It'll be great. But
It's not happening next week. It's happening March 5th, UFC 272 main event. Pay attention to what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's true. It's 272. You're right, dude. So
we
listen,
got time.
that would have been,
They'll
like
build
I said,
it up. What are you saying?
Yeah, it should have been the first one, man. It should have been the first. But anyways,
why?
Look, like Freddie says, it's just like you need a big name hype fight to start the year, man.
So you're saying
Ngannou versus Gane is pretty big.
Yeah, and that's the first pay-per-view of the year. It's the heavyweight title to unify the belts. Cyril Gane is undefeated. Those guys trained together. It's a very similar story, except their fight means something. It's actually better.
It does, actually.
It's a better fight. It's a fight that I actually care about a lot more than Masvidal and Colby Covington. And I know that it's got a lot of hype behind it, and it'll sell pay-per-views. But for me, the bigger fight is Gane and Ngannou. Because if Cyril Gane can get past Francis Ngannou, I mean, look out. What happens then? Maybe Cyril Gane's the greatest heavyweight of all time. You know, like he might run through
wins?
Some people. Well, and
what
that's
happens
another.
If Ngannou wins and gets a free agent, like he's a free agent.
Yeah, that's another possibility.
Man, he'd be the biggest free agent ever in MMA. If he wins and he's the champion and he's out of a contract, he'd be the biggest free agent ever in MMA.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, let's be honest, man. Like, you're gonna walk away from the UFC. That's ridiculous, especially with that level of like of marketing and money that comes in. There would be no way. The only reason he would walk away. Yeah, we're gonna go to like where all the rest of the fighters have gone to, where nobody really like follows them as much. Bare knuckle fight. What? Like, it doesn't make sense.
I can see him doing the move to Bellator.
Yeah, but even then, Chikongo, man. Let's be honest, man.
He could.
Like, we remember him, but how many people remember him today?
He could
box.
But
let's think about it. Exactly. Now that makes sense. He could step back without any obligation to the UFC and do a boxing fight that he's wanted to do since he started like the fighting life.
If he
like
wins.
That he wanted to be a boxer before he wanted to be an MMA fighter.
If he wins.
The glory for sure is if he wins.
If he wins next week, which, you know.
Look, even if he doesn't win, he'll still walk away and go into boxing. You know, that's I'm almost confident. I mean, like Tyson Fury and him have been talking even more. Like, it looks like, to me, every time I read up on it, it's like this fight is going to happen in boxing. I mean, does he have a chance against Tyson Fury? I seriously doubt it, man. There's going to be no way in hell he can touch Tyson Fury
right away? He doesn't even get a warm-up fight before?
No,
I think Deontay Wilder would be more fun.
No, Tyson Fury wants to fight. Ngannou wants that fight. That's the fight to make make money. And
let's
you know
pump
what?
the brakes let's pump the brakes and see if Tyson Fury still wants the fight after Francis Ngannou gets knocked unconscious in 2 rounds by Cyril Gane. Like, let's see, if that happens, I don't know if he'll still want the fight. So let's hold off on, Tyson Fury and Ngannou. Ngannou's worth hinges on his next performance as much as anything, so he's going to have to do very well. If he wins, knocks out Gane, and has another Francis Ngannou performance, he could go on and maybe be a free agent and box Tyson Fury, and that would be legitimate, and people would be very excited about that. But if he loses to Cyril Gane, especially if he gets finished by Cyril Gane, then I don't know if the opportunities are going to be out there. He has less leverage because he's coming off a very high-profile loss, right?
But you know what concerns me, Dave, is all the this talk and like if you look at Ngannou, for sure he's in the gym training for the fight that's coming up. But in some ways, I feel that he's not really into the fight. There's something about this leading up to the Gane fight. I don't know what it is, man. Like, there's no eye of the tiger. Every time I see him, he's like, whatever, and the contracts and this. Where, Cyril, man, is coming here to win. All he's doing is focused, and he knows he can beat Ngannou. We know that because video footage is out there that shows it. But there's something with Ngannou. He just doesn't have that oomph going into this fight. Maybe it'll be a different story once we see the stare down. No, man,
that's
I'm just telling you, man, there's something.
That's how he always talks.
But it's even more. There's something more.
I think AJ might be right.
I know he's not.
I think Francis might know what's going to happen. Francis might know, and I think Cyril knows. I think they both know.
Cyril knows.
When you've been in there with a guy enough times, you know how it's going to go, right?
Exactly, man. You're absolutely right, man. And that's one thing I could say in the jiu-jitsu world, where there's guys that'll just clean you up. But the more you train with them, the more you understand, like, their weaknesses and how to really get them. You might not get them right away, but over time, man, you're able to get guys that you weren't able to get. And that's because you work with them all the time. But you're absolutely right. These guys have worked nonstop in their gyms back in Paris. And I think they obviously they know each other's weak spots. But I think Cyril knows the weak spot, to win this fight. And look at Ngannou. If he has to worry about any other fighter, it's somebody like Cyril Gane, because he knows, man, he has his blueprint. That's what I think is going to make the huge difference. And I also feel like that love is not in there in that fight. So is it a question because he's afraid to fight Cyril in some sense? I don't think he's afraid to fight, but he's concerned that the other guy has the tools to beat him. There's no doubt about it.
I think he knows. I think he knows. I think he's a little bit worried that it's going to go how it went in the gym. And I think, of course, things can change and people can improve, but if Cyril's up here and Francis is up here and they both continue to improve, like they're both getting better, but Cyril's still better, but how much better is he than Francis right now? And of course, Francis is super dangerous, and I don't think Francis Ngannou is a guy that's necessarily looking to knock you unconscious and put your lights out in sparring. Sparring is a different thing, and a fight competition is a whole different thing under the lights with the people in the arena. It's a different type of thing. So, yeah, maybe Cyril beat Francis up in the gym, and maybe Francis has that in his mind. Doesn't mean Francis doesn't think he can win this fight. I think Francis believes he can win the fight. I don't believe Francis will win the fight, but I think, it's a possibility because Francis Ngannou is so powerful. That right hand is just deadly.
Cyril should win. Just don't come in too overconfident, because if you're coming in, if you're listening to AJ right now, man, and feeling too much about yourself, you might get surprised, because, Ngannou's still dangerous. But, yeah, Cyril is probably, and I agree that Francis probably knows, because if you train enough with somebody, you know who's better. I'm just not going to sell it short. I'm picking Cyril. He should win, but I think this is going to be a good fight, man, unless Cyril finishes him quick, Francis is dangerous. So even if Cyril wins round 1, round 2, Francis is still dangerous. So it's a good fight. I'm happy for
absolutely.
it.
Super chat.
You're absolutely right, Freddie. But what I'm worried about is that it's those liver kicks, and that's the thing, man. Like when Cyril opens up with those kicks, man, they're devastating. And I think that's the biggest concern for Ngannou. If Cyril is able to keep that distance and deliver those body kicks, man, get to the liver, man, that's what's going to make the difference in this fight.
Now,
if there's going to be a knockout, it's really going to be because of like some kicks that are going to come in.
Now, we're going to preview that fight next week on the show because next week is our UFC 270 preview, and we'll also be doing a watch-along for that show, right? UFC 270 pay-per-view. We'll be watching that fight along with you. And AJ, you're over COVID, right? You don't have COVID anymore?
Well, you know what? Like for the
you
last,
still have
like,
COVID? See, wrong
answer. I don't have COVID, but I think I have. Listen, I don't have COVID. All I have is
that you just killed your chance, AJ.
Yeah.
No, but no.
Dave was
COVID.
giving you like a rope, like, hey, come on, AJ, come here.
Okay.
Listen.
You're over it, right? You can, because the curfew's over, and maybe, but now you're talking, I don't know.
No. But what I'm trying to say is that I had to retest. I don't have it. But the thing is that, like, I still have, like, it's weird because when you get, like, COVID or whatever, sometimes you have, like, this dry cough. It's because, really, I haven't really stepped outside that much, really, like, once in the last 3 weeks. But, yeah, I mean, for sure.
Well, we'll see how you feel next week.
I'll tell you something. Like, I don't know how Freddie did it, but I was double vaccinated, and it still hit me hard. So, like, I still got that shit. So I don't know why I got those 2 vax if I still got it. It doesn't make sense. But if I didn't get the vax, I was thinking, like, I wonder how I would have felt.
You're gonna get
it might have been worse had you not been vaccinated, AJ. That's supposedly how it works. Is if you get the vaccines, it's not as bad as if you didn't. But
that's what that's what I was trying to get at.
Upon
my
my personal experience with my 2 friends here, it doesn't seem to be the way. AJ's double vaxxed, and he seemed to have a harder case, and Freddie's got nothing.
Man.
And Freddie's just super strong, and he's had COVID but had no symptoms, so I don't really know what's going on. I'm getting my 3rd vaccine, I think, next week or something, so there's that. Patrick C. Hamilton dropping a super chat, 777, classic Patrick. Thank you, Patrick. He says, I placed my bet, $25 for Gane to win. Yeah, I'm going to be placing a sizable bet for Cyril Gane to win as well next week.
What's his odd?
I think it was basically a pick'em.
Last
week
really
it was
close,
a pick'em when we looked at it, and I think it still might be close to that. Gane is actually pulling away as a favorite now, more. Minus 125. The odd is moving, right? The odds are moving. Patrick points out that AJ is a senior citizen, which is true. That's also a good point, Patrick.
Swear.
Shout out to Patrick.
I was going to say that.
Patrick is a member of the team. Angelo as well. AJ was supposed to be at an undisclosed location tonight. I thought the show was supposed to be, AJ was supposed to be somewhere else tonight, and that's why we started at 8:30, but apparently that's next week where AJ is going to be at a different location, so we'll start the show at 8:30 again next week. We had a miscommunication, but, whatever. We're here.
Listen, at the seniors home, I'll be a little bit later because of the seniors home, man.
What? Don't go to a seniors home
in
with
a different location. Well, here in Quebec, man, it don't make a difference.
Okay.
It's a disaster. I don't even know what's going on anymore. Are we open? Are we closed? Is there a curfew? Not a curfew?
Know.
Like,
I don't know.
It doesn't make sense, man.
I am going to open up a business selling power tools to the non-vaccinated. What do you think about that?
What?
Well, apparently,
what does that mean, man?
Apparently they can't go into you're going to need a vaccination pass, a passport to go into like a Canadian Tire or a Reno Depot type place. So I'm going to sell wood and tools to people who don't have vaccines. I'm going to go into the parking lot, and I'll be like, I'll have a sign. I'll be like, non-vaccinated people, if you want stuff, come to me. I'll go in there, I'll buy the thing, and I'll charge a little extra, and then there you go. Just sit in the parking lot all day. That'd be good for the homeless or something. That's a good job for guys.
Listen, man, you're giving me a good idea. Listen, why don't we team up with Muscles Marco, because Muscle Marco knows a lot of people that sell things out of their
trunk of a car,
hood of their car, the trunk of the car,
fell out of a truck.
Suitcase,
no problem.
Usually they want to pay cheap. You're gonna have to sell it overpriced to make a profit.
We're selling. Yeah, that's what we're doing. We're selling it overpriced.
Listen, man, it could have been worse. It could have been like toilet paper.
Fred, do you want that saw or not? Do you want the saw or not?
You want the toilet paper?
Amazon,
do you want toilet paper?
That's
local business. That's what François Legault's doing.
Yeah, you could just order it online, I guess.
Hey, listen, man. Listen. Just to say, is Arruda even took an early retirement? Talk about like retirement. I mean,
Yeah.
that guy's gone. I don't know what the hell happened to him.
He's a patsy for what's going on. He's just taking the fall for the failures of the whole regime.
He was actually the most moderate of the three clowns.
Yeah,
and,
exactly.
They're going to replace him with somebody worse.
That's it. Things are going wrong, and, he's taking the fall. That's what it looks like to me. Anyways, let's not talk about that terrible situation. Let's talk about fighting where it's a little bit more
let's do it, man.
Fun. I think you can place bets on fighting. You can gamble on fighting, which makes it more fun than politics. I don't know if you can gamble on that, but even if you can.
Well, you can. You can gamble on the fact that we're going to close again or reopen.
Can you gamble on
that kind of betting? Sure, man. Listen, in Vegas, you can gamble on anything, man. How many times you touch your eyebrows when you're doing an interview? It can be like crazy shit, dude. Listen. If there's a reason to bet, they'll find the way. Vegas. Bet99.com. Code Ringside.
Not Vegas, but all right. So.
No, but it's not Vegas, but along the lines. Maybe they'll listen to me. They listen to AJ quite a bit at Bet99.
What do you think about Korean Zombie against Alex Volkanovsky?
Oof, that's going to be insane, man. That'll be a good fight, but I don't think he has much chance against Volkanovski, man.
That's it. Fred's answer was what I wanted. That's how I feel about it.
It'll be a nice look. It'll be a nice fight. It'll be a nice fight because he's a known name.
What do you think of that?
Does he have what it takes to?
What do you think of that pay-per-view?
Come on.
But
it's like
Volkanovski,
Zombie, Piotr Jan Sterling. That's the new pay-per-view 273 in April. Like they got to beef that up with undercard or something.
Last week, you guys didn't really agree, I think, when I said that Holloway was the perfect guy for right now because there's nobody else in that division. Who else are you going to give that title fight to? So, Holloway lost twice to Volkanovski, but we know Holloway is elite. Chan Sung Jung, he's a good fighter. I don't see him as a champion, though. So, he might surprise me, but I think Volkanovski's going to win that. Henry
Cejudo on Twitter was like, hey, Dana, give me the fight. How come they didn't give it to Henry Cejudo? That would have been much more fun.
Dana doesn't like guys that aren't active, That's my opinion. I have no opinion. I have no info on that, but similar reason to why Dana didn't want to have George, fight back because he knew that if George fights, he's going to then take a year off. And he doesn't want Cejudo to beat Volkanovski and then say, like, I'm going to be off for another year or two.
Yeah, but meanwhile, we have to watch Korean Zombie fight Volkanovski. I
agree,
you know what
Dave.
I mean?
I'm with you, man. I say it doesn't matter. If guys retire, they retire. Like, Dana should still want the best guys, the biggest draws possible. And look, if a guy retires with a championship, so be it, man. It happens, man. Some guys, walk away on top, and those are great stories, actually. It might not be great for the UFC because they can't sell more pay-per-views, but guys that retire on top, those are great stories.
And it's so hard to do. If you're good enough to do it, respect them for doing it and let them walk away. You know how hard it is to become a UFC champion? You know how good you have to be at fighting? You know how dedicated and smart and everything you have to be in mixed martial arts to make it to the top of the UFC, to be a world champion? You know how hard it is to just win a fight, let alone 2 or 3? Imagine winning 20 and being a world champion. Like, you know how hard it is to do that? You know what you put your body through to do that? Let them retire if they want to. And then come back because they're huge stars. Man. And then when you need them, if they want to come back at an opportunity when you might need them, I mean, who wouldn't want to see Henry Cejudo fight Volkanovski right now? People would much rather see that than Korean Zombie. Yeah, let him vacate. Who cares? And then let Volkanovski fight Holloway for the belt. Or how about this? How about you believe enough in Volkanovski and say, yeah, maybe Volkanovski will beat Cejudo, and then it makes Volkanovski a much bigger star, and, it's good for the company.
And you know what? If a champion vacates the title, the division survives. Look, when GSP vacated his title, yeah, the welterweight at the beginning was so-so, but Johnny Hendricks did a good job. Robbie Lawler did a good job. Even Tyron Woodley, and now we have Usman. So, you just rebuild that division. In the end, everybody wins. So I'm not sure why Dana hesitates to use these guys. I'm not sure.
Khabib walked away, and look at the lightweight division now. It's great.
It's great.
You're right. It's insane. But that's the thing, you know. I think it's more the fact of when they walked away, you know, and it's like they really had the potential to continue fighting, and they sort of walked away from Dana, and Dana's like, you know what, fuck them, you know. They didn't want to continue when they should have.
Yeah, well, Dana's
you know,
an asshole
they gave that
for
opportunity to.
Oh,
Yeah,
Fred,
but not
Fred,
really.
take it
No, I
easy.
don't
That's
know
Dana
about
White
that,
we're
man.
talking
Whoa,
about
whoa.
here.
Yeah,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Don't diss
No,
Dana, man.
man.
Dana
That's
is
my
right.
man, Dana.
Slaves
Dana
if
is
they
right.
want, like
No,
this
no,
ain't
no.
Spartan, man. If they want to retire, they could retire, man. Fuck
Look,
you,
man,
Dana.
look.
Wow.
No, man. Listen, man. Like
I
I
don't
can understand
agree.
if
I'm
you
sorry,
retire
Dana.
when you're like, yeah, me too. I'm on your side, Dana.
Yeah.
100%,
Team Dana.
man.
All day, every day.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Freddie
guys
had
are
COVID,
always on
Dana.
the side
Just
of the
forgive him.
promoter.
That's
He
right.
didn't have ivermectin or whatever.
No,
it was,
I'm on
you
the
know?
side. I'm on the side of the fighters and the promoters. I like Dana too. I see both sides. I'm fair. All right, Fred. I'm just fair.
No
Yeah,
promoter
you're like
ever
Judge
banned
Judy,
you.
man.
I'm just
You're
saying.
fair, man. Listen,
That's right.
think about it. Look at
And I
George,
never,
man. George,
just for the record, Fred, just so we're clear, I never, ever interviewed Dana White's mom. Okay, I don't care what anybody says.
Okay.
I never did that.
what?
No,
Even if there's
Was there
audio
rumors
proof.
on that?
no. There's no proof, Fred. Don't
What?
talk about it. Don't say it.
What? What did Dave do, man? I gotta find this out,
I
man.
didn't do anything. Shh.
Freddie, spill the beans,
Is
man.
that one still online, or did
I don't
it
think
get
so. I think it's.
it got the axe?
I deleted it for Uncle Dana. Out of
Dude,
respect.
did you harass his mom? What the hell did you do?
Oh no, she had a book and
Did
she
you
was,
call the wrong number?
No, she had a book. She was promoting it. It was not nice.
Really? I gotta hear this now, man.
TSN forced.
Everybody wants to hear it.
TSN forced.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
Interview.
No, well, that's not true.
I'm gonna
I thought-
Google it, man. I'm
I
gonna
thought it
find
was interesting. I was like, Dana White's mom hates him and wants to talk about it in a book? What the hell is this? And then we had her on the show, and I was like, oh, jeez, what's going on? What's happening? This lady is mean. I don't know. I felt bad for Dana
well,
at the
did
end
she-
of it. I felt really bad for Dana.
She was
I felt-
dissing her own son? What
Yeah.
the hell, man?
She didn't seem like a very nice lady.
Fill me in.
Yeah, I feel bad.
Wow.
Like I've been watching the second season of Tiger King, and I feel she would fit right in. Like she could be
Yes.
a character.
She
in
looks
Tiger
like
King.
Carol Baskin. She looks like Carol Baskin.
Yeah,
What?
she kinda does.
Yeah. Yeah.
What is she like? Kind of like Eminem's mom when he disses her in every song, man.
I don't want to talk
ridiculous.
about this, AJ. I don't want to say anything.
No, I'm
I
gonna
feel
find
bad.
it now.
Honestly, I
Now
feel
I'm gonna
really bad
promote
for
it.
Dana. No, don't promote AJ. I swear, I'm serious. Don't promote it. But I will tell you all about it, and I'll send you a copy so you could hear it. Okay? I'll tell you
I
the whole
love to,
story.
man.
Do that.
I'll tell AJ the whole story. Yeah, but AJ can't post it. He's gonna though. That's the
Damn,
thing.
man.
I don't trust AJ. We can't trust AJ. Fred.
What?
That's the problem.
Listen, man. I held back a lot of videos that I could have exposed, including one on Henry Cejudo, where he got beat from our, our I won't mention the name here.
You
in
put that
Montreal.
out.
Oh,
Didn't
come
you?
on, man.
Did I?
You
Yeah.
did also.
Yeah, you put it out.
And why are we talking
Well, I have to
about that,
re-put
man?
it.
Henry
Weak.
Cejudo's a great fighter.
Yeah, AJ, that was again. Get it together.
I'll just say that Sherbatov,
Fandom.
tossed him around like a salad. Just telling you.
I'm not sure that's the
I did
expression
put out
you
that.
want to use.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Like
I
toss
don't.
the salad.
AJ, you know what that means?
Yeah, I do know what that means, but I didn't realize it in that context when I said it. But it's funny, man. He did more than toss the salad. Turned him into like a pretzel. But
I'm sure you can get some nice salads and sandwiches at Conor McGregor's Black Forge Inn, although it may be partially
what
exploded.
the hell, man?
It may be partially blown up right now. I don't know.
Man, like
He has a pub in Dublin, and people threw like pipe bombs and things at it, and there was a fire and some explosions. Apparently,
no.
This
Dude, it's
happened last
Molotov
night.
cocktails.
Yeah, Molotov
Listen,
cocktails.
that's a movie, man. Molotov cocktails, scooters, 2 guys on them, people having a wine and cheese event, compliments of Conor's special menu.
Crazy.
Dude, it was insane. Like, whoever did that was thinking that Conor was in the building. So if you haven't heard about it, you can read up on it.
Why would you say
Basically,
that?
Conor. What do you mean?
Why would you say
What
that
would I
people
say?
thought Conor was in the building?
Because apparently, just speculation by the police saying that
Speculation by
they
AJ.
feel that. Listen, no. They're saying that.
Are you
these
sure about what
individuals-
you're advancing
Yes,
here?
I am, man.
You're saying this was an attempted hit on Conor McGregor? Get the fuck out of here. What are you talking about, man?
If I was Conor, man, I'd be a little nervous right now. I'd be hiring some like bodyguards and whatnot because the whole context of this special menu. No.
Could have been the target.
Because it was a special menu by Conor. So everyone thought that Conor was going to be there. It was a special menu by Conor. So everyone believed Conor was in the building or going to be part of that event. And whoever decided to throw Molotov cocktails, listen, dude, we had that war here in Montreal with the bikers. Let me tell you something. Nobody throws Molotov cocktails into a wine and cheese tasting, for no reason, man. They were targeting a big name in there. And then Conor's name was tagged to that event. And I'm telling you, man, something doesn't smell right. Pardon the pun. Someone is after Conor. I'm telling you, man. I don't know.
According to TMZ, no one was impacted. The pub is open and busy as always. Everything's fine. They're looking for people.
It's not fine. How can it be fine when you have like Molotov cocktails thrown at your business, man? That's not fine in my books, man.
But there have been, past reports of Conor McGregor hanging
out with
members.
It's not like a Mish out of control, man.
Members of the Irish mob out there. So maybe he's affiliated with things. Who knows what's going on with Conor McGregor's personal life? But he has been affiliated with known Irish affiliated, people, right?
Gangsters.
Gangsters.
People of interest, man. Don't mess with the Dublin gangs, man.
So maybe it's, Conor, it seems like that type of attack. Like when that type of thing happens, when a bar is bombed, it's usually related to organized crime, right? Like we know this from living in Montreal. Usually when a bar is bombed, it's organized crime, but I don't know how it goes down in Dublin, but that's what it smells like.
Cheese is, here in Montreal, usually cheese is involved. If you're not buying the right cheese, you're going up in smoke, man. Big time. But I was going to say, going back to, Freddie sent us a video earlier on the boxing incident that happened a couple of years back. And when you look at that, man, you're like, holy smokes. Obviously there was the mob related in some kind of aspect of that incident where there was a shooting at the weigh-ins. Man, I looked at that and I was like, damn, man, that was hardcore. So you don't know what happens behind the scenes, man. I don't know, man. Maybe Conor got himself involved in something crazy, or somebody is out for a payoff, or who knows? Maybe Dylan Dallas is so pissed off now that he went after Conor. You never know. Anything can happen in this world.
You're throwing a lot of wild theories out there.
A lot of speculation
that out there.
Hey, man, I'm just saying.
All right.
Keep an open mind. Anything's possible.
Well, hopefully Conor McGregor's all right, and it wasn't an attempted hit on Conor, which I sincerely doubt, but that's AJ's going theory. Alexander Rakic is going to fight former champion Jan Blachowicz on March 26th at UFC Fight Night in Vegas at the Apex. That's a nice light heavyweight fight. It's a solid main event.
I saw him and Paul Felder got into it.
Who and Paul Felder?
Rakic.
Oh, yeah?
Because he didn't like Paul Felder's commentary on his last fight, and they argued, I think, on Twitter or whatever social media it was, and so that was pretty good.
All right,
I remember hearing about that.
Let's get into the fights coming up this weekend. UFC back at the Apex. Finally, Angelo wanted to know the promo code. Promo code for Ringside is promo code for Bet99 is Ringside. Use that promo code. You'll get a matching deposit bonus of up to $600. They will match up to $600 on your initial deposit with the promo code Ringside over at Bet99.com. And I've got a 5-fight parlay here for you coming up this weekend. Taking a look. That's right, AJ. I'm going hard. I'm ready for this card. I'm ready. I'm itching for some UFC. It's been a long time. It's been a month here since we've had some fights on a Saturday night, and I'm gearing up for several weeks of action. The next 4 Saturday nights are going to be really good. We've got UFC this weekend, Kattar versus Chikadze. Next weekend, we got UFC 270, Cyril Gane, Francis Ngannou. The following weekend on a Saturday night, it's the Royal Rumble, boys. The Royal Rumble, okay?
Wow.
And then the weekend after that, Sean Strickland's fighting Jack Hermanson. So UFC and WWE keeping me busy over the next several Saturday nights. This Saturday, Giga Chikadze, Calvin Kattar. Giga coming in with a 14-2 record. He's not lost since 2018. He has won now 8 in a row, including every single fight he's had in the UFC. His last 3 fights over Jamie Simmons, Cub Swanson, and Edson Barbosa all finished by knockout. Giga is on a roll, and at 33 years old, he looks like he's right in his prime and gearing for a title shot. Calvin Kattar coming off that decision loss last year to Max Holloway, where he was really beat up and completely outmatched, but that was to Max Holloway. Before that, he'd won a couple in a row in the UFC and had done pretty well for himself. The odds over at bet99.com have Giga Chikadze minus 250, Calvin Kattar plus 200. That's how I see this fight going. I think that this fight is a very good matchup for Giga. Kattar's fine to keep this fight standing. He was getting beat up by Max Holloway standing up, and he was ready to just take that punishment and keep on fighting in that style. He's not a guy that's going to try to take Giga down, and if he does, I don't think he'll be successful. I think Giga Chikadze is going to be way more dangerous and deadly. I think he puts Calvin Kattar away and makes a real claim for that featherweight championship. I think after Saturday night, people are going to be saying, why is Korean Zombie fighting for the belt? Why isn't Giga Chikadze?
You got a point there, Dave, because when you look at Kattar, when he fought Holloway, I mean, if you look at that fight, he took a beating, but he didn't go down. If you look at the amount of strikes that were landed by Holloway, he landed 445 strikes, breaking a UFC record, man. The guy shattered the record. I mean, when you're looking at Giga, he's kind of like Holloway in a sense. All his striking is so accurate. The guy is going for a knockout. The guy, every fight he's had, he's got a performance bonus. I mean, this guy comes out to fight. Now, the thing is that he's never went 5 rounds. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Calvin went like 3 fights into 5 rounds in his career. So the thing is that if he's able to weather the storm, because Giga's coming out to kill right off the bat. He's coming to knock you out. That's what his goal is, and I'm pretty sure that is what's going to happen. But not to take away from Calvin. Calvin can take a beating. He can go the distance, and he has the experience to go 5 rounds. Now, we'll see what happens on Saturday, but to be honest, man, I mean, when you look at Giga, he has everything going for him. He has a 2-inch reach advantage. He's got like 9 like. Even in his former kickboxing days, he was like 9-0, man. Nine fights that he won by KO. The guy has everything, and he even has a kick named after him, the Giga kick. I mean, when he throws that kick to the liver, you saw it, man. It's done. You're done, man.
That's it.
So you know what? Look, it's gonna be a great fight, but man, I don't see Giga going anywhere but like with a victory and making his way for a championship title fight, man. Like in 2022.
Yep, I agree.
I like that. I like that Giga's been active, 6 fights in the last 2 years. And his last 2 fights, TKO wins against big names still. Well, guys that are older and seen better days, but to finish Edson Barbosa and Cub Swanson, that's noticeable. So I'm going to go with Giga winning that fight and probably finishing Kattar. But like you said, Dave, Kattar's a tough guy. Like, he could take a beating, so... But Giga's impressive. He's getting on his way to that title shot. And like you said, maybe people are going to say, hey, he should be fighting instead of Korean Zombie. But I think the fight's already announced, so it's going to be hard to take it away from Korean Zombie. But Giga's a player in the division, and he might be the next challenger.
That's it. I think the Giga train is rolling right now. I think Giga becomes... a title challenger. I think he fights for the belt this year, hopefully, and maybe becomes the champion. I think Giga is one of the top guys right now at 145, and he beats up Calvin Kattar on Saturday. The co-main event is Jake Collier versus Chase Sherman in a heavyweight bout. 2 big ol' heavyweight scrappers. I see that Sherman right now plus 110, the underdog. Collier minus 134, the favorite over at Bet99. I'm going with Chase Sherman. I think Chase Sherman pulls this one out, and he's going to be one of my underdog picks on my parlay, the Team Dave parlay, which I'll give you here in a minute. AJ, any thoughts on the Sherman Collier fight?
Look, there's one reason why I'm going with Sherman, because the best win for Collier was against Gian Vellante, man. And Gian Vellante, man, he destroyed every parlay that I ever had with him. He killed me, man. So if that's your best win is against that guy, Mr. Nochin, you don't have much of a chance, man.
You just stole my
Sherman,
point, man.
Did
That's
you?
what I was going to say.
Yeah.
I did. Oh, okay.
But here, I'll follow it up, though, with you're probably right, AJ, but I look at Chase Sherman's record, and, like, who has he defeated, man? A bunch of guys I don't know. Who's EK Villanueva? Never heard of him. They fought, but I don't remember it. Who's EK?
Yeah, but
Ike Villanueva.
I like you turn Ike into EK.
Yeah, but generally Sherman, like, the thing is that he comes out like to fight, man, and he's the type of the guy that you're gonna see like fight of the night kind of stuff. He's gonna bring in some action, man, and yeah, I'm going with Sherman for my parlay win on this.
I mean, it's not a great card tomorrow, but we're in need of fights, so
that's it. We're watching. I just think Sherman's a little more powerful. I think Sherman gets it done here. Brandon Royval taking on Holgerio Bontorin. Bontorin is a very good black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's coming in as an underdog in this fight against Brandon Royval. Royval's got a killer guillotine. He is a very talented fighter, coming off a couple losses, though, to Alexander Pantoja and Brandon Moreno. This is a real interesting fight at 125 pounds. I'm actually staying off of it on the parlay. I see Royval as a minus 172 favorite. I could see him pulling it off, but Bontorin at plus 140 is interesting, and he could be dangerous in this fight. So I'm not sure where to go on this one. You have any thoughts on this fight, Bontorin and Royval?
Man, when it comes to grappling, these guys. Go ahead, Fred.
Go ahead, AJ.
No, go.
Go ahead, AJ. AJ, go.
Look, this is gonna be fun, like as a fight goes. What I was gonna say is that when it comes to the submissions or the grappling and whatnot, that's the type of fight. Both of these guys can grapple. Either one could submit, man. It's gonna be a fun fight, but it's gonna be a hard fight to really pick. It could go either or, but I think the odds, like you said, is going towards Royval. Man, look, I'm not sure, man. This is one of those fights that. Look, I'm gonna pick. I'm not gonna pick. I'm
That's
gonna
it.
Let this one ride.
I'm staying away from it. Yeah, it's a tough one. Fred, sorry, go ahead.
It's a tough one. I'm gonna go with Royval, mostly because I liked his fight against Moreno. I remember it. It was a exciting fight that he lost, but it was a good fight, and I'd like him to have some success. But honestly, he could go either way. That's probably a better fight than the co-main event, I would say.
Yeah, that's one of the better fights on the card.
But the only thing I could say, Freddie, is that Bontorin he has to make a severe cut to get to his weight. That's the difference. Now, does he have what it takes to be able to keep ground control when you're making that much of a cut in weight? I don't know, man. So if the edge had to go anywhere, it's gonna go towards Royval because of that. But again, man, you just don't know.
That's a tough one. It's a tough fight. Another fight here, Caitlyn Kagan against Jennifer Maia. I don't think is that tough to pick. Right now, Chikadze minus 185, the favorite. Maia plus 145, the underdog. And I say I don't think it's that tough to pick because they fought just over 2 years ago.
Man.
Yeah, just a couple years ago.
2019.
And Chikadze handled her pretty good, beat her by unanimous decision. I think this fight goes a similar way.
Look, she had some moments where she looked like she was doing really well, but it's 2019, man. This is another fight, man, where you expect Caitlyn to win it because she's already beat her in the past. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, man. You know?
I don't know.
19-7, Jennifer Maia. It's hard, man.
Yeah, Maia's good and all, but I think that Chikadze and Maia are very similar fighters to who they were 2 years ago. So I think the fight plays out in a very similar fashion, with Chikadze winning probably by decision.
Look, I looked at that fight again, and I'll be honest. In the first fight, Maia has everything tools-wise to beat Caitlyn. when it comes to the grappling game, she could win. The only difference is that in that first fight, for some reason, she was very patient, man. She was just staying away. She struggled to close that distance, and she was having a hard time using her wrestling capabilities to get to where she needs to be, to win this game by jiu-jitsu. But in this fight, if she comes out aggressive and able to close that distance, get her to the ground, she's able to submit Caitlyn. That's why this is a tough fight. In the first fight, man, she had everything except that she did not do what she had to do to be overpowering, to be in her face. She was too patient, man. She stayed the distance, and it cost her the game. That's why in this fight here, man, I'm going to go the opposite way. I'm going to go with Jennifer Maia for the win on this because I think she's not going to make the same mistake. She's going to be aggressive. She's going to get her to the ground, and she has the tools to submit this girl, no problem.
I don't think she does. Fred?
I got Caitlyn. I always say when there's a rematch, the person that lost has to prove it to me. There's an exception, though, because I'm going to pick Amanda Nunes whenever she fights Lima again because she doesn't need to prove it to me. I know she's going to beat Lima. But, yeah, as far as Caitlyn, I'm going to say she won the first fight. And
Pena.
Yeah, I called her Lima. Sorry.
Remember her name, Fred. She's going to whoop Amanda's ass again like I told you.
I don't know about
Caitlyn
that. I'm on
by
Freddie's side on
decision
that
again.
one.
All right, Caitlyn by decision. There you go, Fred. Other fights on this card, Dakota Bush against Vladislav Borshev. I like Borshev. I think Borshev gets this one done. And Joe Anderson Brito against Bill Algeo, I think is a good fight there. I like Joe Anderson Brito. This guy's won 11 in a row, Brazilian guy at 145 pounds. I think he comes in and pulls off a victory, and that's going to be where we go with the parlay as well. Let's see Team Dave's parlay, shall we? There's Team Dave. There's the parlay over at, where are we? We're at bet99.com here. What is this? You see this? Do we see this?
Let's see it.
Are we seeing
What's
this?
it at?
Here we go. I got Giga Chikadze, Chase Sherman. It's a 5-fight parlay for Team Dave. Giga, minus 250 to win. Sherman, plus 110, the underdog. Caitlyn, minus 184. Joe Anderson Brito, minus 137. And Slava Borshev, minus 200. $20 pays out to 236.28. That's a Team Dave parlay to get your year started off right. Yeah, man. It's a 5-fight parlay. Once again, Team Dave, $20 gets you 236.28 over at bet99.com. Use that promo code Ringside. We're going with Borshev, Brito, Chukagian, Sherman, and Giga. Team Dave, let's do it. AJ, you got something for me?
You want to go first, Fred, or you want me to take it?
I could go. I got Caitlyn, I got Giga, and I got Court McGee.
Ooh, Court McGee's on this card?
Yeah, he's on prelims.
Oh, yeah. Caitlyn, Giga, and Court McGee taking on Ramiz Brahimaj. McGee minus 108. Interesting. That's a Team Fred 3-fight parlay. Let me get this up here for you. There's Team Fred. We got Giga, we got Caitlyn, and we got Kortsky. $20 gets you $83.66. That's a Team Fred 3-fight parlay over at bet99.com. Court, Caitlyn, and Giga. AJ, your turn.
All right, man. So I'm going to start off with the Giga for sure. I'm going to go down with Chase Sherman. I'm going to go with Jennifer Maia on this one. I'm going to go with Burrito. And then I'm going to go with Borshev.
Borshev?
Burrito.
Slava.
The borscht.
Okay.
I'll go with the borscht soup, and then I'll go with the burrito. But you know what? I want to be like.
Are you done? 5 fights?
You know what, man? I'm gonna stick it because that Brandon Royval against Bontorin. I'm gonna go with Royval, man, just because of that cut by Bontorin. I don't think he has what it takes to make that cut.
Wow.
Let me go with
6-fight
Royval.
parlay. A 6-fight parlay
I'm going.
here. All right.
Yeah, man, I had to go one above you. I can't do AJ. Always does the multi parlays, man.
Team AJ going with Giga, Chase, Maya plus 145, Brito minus 137, Slava, Borshev, and Brandon Royval. $20 gets you $594.20. Good God Almighty!
Boom.
Wow. Play that, AJ. Play that one. You won't because you don't actually put your money where your mouth is. But
I might need to because I got to pay that car. Who knows, man?
yeah. Play that
Dear
one.
Irish Saints, please make sure this mechanic gives me a good price tomorrow.
Over at bet99.com. Use that promo code this weekend. Go with Team Dave, Team Fred, or Team AJ, or roll the dice and go with your own team. Figure it out. Do a mix, a little mixy-matchy of Team Dave, Team Fred, and Team AJ, you know? We all like Giga. That's one, you know? We all took Giga Chikadze. That's what we have in common.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something.
I think Chase Sherman too, right? He was an underdog pick, co-main event. We all took Chase Sherman on. Did Fred? Fred, you didn't put him on your parlay though, right? No, he took Caitlyn, Giga, and Court McGee. We all have Giga.
Listen, I'm gonna say one thing. Every time we go with every one of us picks the main event, I think we've never lost. I'm looking as far way back, man. We've never lost a main event pick.
I wouldn't say never. I'm sure it's happened.
Except
Angelo,
for the Amanda Nunes one. That's the only one.
Angelo going with
Team
Team Dave.
No, because you went the opposite.
Thank you, Angelo.
Yeah, Team Dave's got it.
Yeah.
But it's the Maya, man. It's the Maya. I think she's going to come out, Angelo. Just remember that.
Don't think so. I don't think she will get the takedowns she needs. Caitlyn is good with takedown defense.
Listen, she does. I think she's 67% or something like that. She has a really good takedown defense. But I'm saying is that the first fight, she wasn't getting into that pocket. She wasn't aggressive. And she made a mistake, and I think it's going to be corrected on Saturday, man. I'm telling you, Maya's going to take her down and win.
We'll see. Coming up Saturday night, UFC back at the Apex for the first time in 2022. And then next Saturday night, the 22nd of January, it'll be UFC 270. Freddie, AJ, and I will be back in action doing the UFC 270 watch along with you. And then next Thursday, of course, we'll do the preview a few days before the watch along. I'll be back here tomorrow night on the Ringside Report Network with Johnny North after SmackDown, talking about smacking things, and we'll talk about AEW Rampage as well. That's tomorrow night, 10 p.m. Eastern. Probably not. 10 p.m. Eastern on the Ringside Report Network here tomorrow night. Friday nights, right after SmackDown.
Listen, man.
Yep.
We didn't mention enough Conor today, man. I'm surprised, we were talking about it earlier. Oh, no. We're going to black, AJ. That's not a good sign, man. That mechanic is going to screw me tomorrow. Angelo, give me a mechanic.
Put my face on
what?
AJ. Can we put my face on AJ's
Say what?
shirt?
Listen, man. Let's get back to Conor.
AJ's face on AJ's shirt?
What?
Double AJ.
Who's manning this shit?
What do you want?
Listen.
The show's over.
I was going to say,
I just ended it.
No. I was going to say the highest earning athlete of 2021, man. We're in 2022. We got to say who the highest earning athlete is.
Per minute.
It doesn't matter, man.
Per minute.
Per minute or
for
he
lost
15,
quick.
20 minutes. It's Conor McGregor,
he lost
man.
Quick.
Highest earning athlete of 2021, man.
Per minute.
Above Neymar, above Ronaldo, above Messi.
Highest earning.
How much did he make?
Per minute. 8.6 million.
Okay, per minute. Thank you for
highest earning athlete. Highest earning athlete per minute of 2021. That's just because he made a lot of money for short fights where he lost. That's not good. Angelo dropping a super chat
this year.
Angelo dropping a super chat says, bet placed on Bet99. Can't wait to prove AJ wrong. Thank you, Angelo.
Angelo, where's the love, man?
Yeah.
Where's the love, man?
He's on Team Dave. Angelo knows.
I'm telling you, man, you're going to regret it, Angelo. You should have went with Maya. Remember what I said. But listen,
he'll remember what you said.
Conor, man. Yeah, I know. That's the problem, man.
Let's stick it to you. As he should.
Listen, man, I'm telling you. Listen, my payout is better. Go with mine because mine is actually going to win. 2022 is the year of AJ.
If you
I got a brand new crystal ball. I've got a brand new crystal ball.
If you take a
I'm
bunch of
wearing
long
green.
shots, your payouts will be
Think
better.
about
Good
it.
for you, AJ. Congratulations. If you make terrible bets, you'll never win money, too. How about that?
No. It's because
What?
I can feel it, man. I can
You
feel
could
it in my
feel
bones,
it?
man.
Really?
I can feel it. Just like
I felt
like
the Juliana Pena
Ariel
thing.
Helwani and
You're stealing.
Dylan Dennis going at it.
What?
They can feel it.
What can they
There's
feel?
a big beef. Well, there's a huge beef, man, between Dylan Dennis and Ariel Helwani. But
To
I
me,
think Ariel
it's
Helwani
not
got
a
him good.
beef. It's not a beef.
It's a beef.
No, because
Did you see
it's
the
not.
last tweet by Ariel?
To me, it's not a real beef, unless like to me, a beef is like, oh, Conor and Khabib, Biggie and Tupac. When they come face to face, shit might happen. If fucking Dylan Dennis and Ariel Helwani came face to face, what do you think would actually happen? Like nothing. And if something did attempt to happen, it would be over very quickly. Like that's not beef to me. What's beef? Beef is
The
when you
verbal
can't.
beef, man.
Beef is when you roll
I think-
no less than 30 deep. Beef is when you make your enemies start your Jeep. Beef is when ICU, guaranteed to be in ICU.
That's a pretty
Fred-
good one, Dave. I'm
yeah.
impressed, man.
Yeah, I came up with that just
Listen,
now.
by the way,
Hey, Fred,
just want
I
you
just
to
came up
know.
with that.
Listen.
AJ's impressed.
I believe you.
I'm impressed. Listen, just on another note, we've got just to let you know, we might get a rap jingle sent to us for Ringside Report from like this New York rapper who's gonna put something out for us. I'll send it to you. I'll post it. You'll see, man. It's gonna be the Ringside Report. beat.
Don't maybe clear it first by me before it. I don't know what that.
Well, I'll send it to you, man, and then you can do whatever you want. Trust me, man.
Okay, send it to me
AJ
and then I'll do
knows.
whatever I want. Good idea.
Well,
Like not use it for anything. Just delete.
Great idea.
Delete.
hey, listen. First of all, for Angelo, I might be a bit over the top, but when I've got my 5 out of 5, 6 out of 6, 7 out of 7 parlays wins, man, you wanted to be with Team AJ at that point. You know it.
It
AJ
happened
did
like
pretty well with those in 2021.
once.
Many times, Dave.
Once?
No. Many times.
I feel like
Many times.
I feel like I was
feel
right
at most
more
it happened
often.
twice.
Yeah.
I feel at most it happened twice.
That's
So he
it.
says many
No,
times,
no,
which twice is many,
no.
but
Look back at the videos. You just see me like cheering on all the time, man.
I think
Just
if we
back at
look
the
back,
text when I'm like, I
you
won.
always cheer, even when you lose.
I think if we look back at
listen.
all the pay-per-views and all the main events from last year, you would find that I was right far more often than AJ was right.
Oh yeah, you did. You took it by storm at the end of the year, man. You really came out like
Pretty
ahead,
much all
but,
year.
Like the beginning was AJ. Listen, are we gonna
No,
have
it
that
wasn't.
like reader? We need that reader to show who's winning like for this year.
Yeah, it definitely was.
We need a live reader.
Beginning of the year last year, like what were the pay-per-views?
Whoa, AJ won. No. Quite a few parlays, man.
Parlays.
How can you forget,
Yeah,
man?
Because
My
they didn't
dancing
happen.
and, like-
How could I forget? Because you make shit up. That's how. Doesn't really happen. That's how I forget. It's not real.
I'll tell you, this year, man, AJ's coming out with a storm. Angelo, you're wrong, man. You're betting wrong. I'm telling you, AJ's winning this. Maya's coming through.
Who did you pick? Kamaru Usman or Gilbert Burns? Didn't you take Gilbert Burns? I think you did.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, good
I
job.
did.
And I took Usman, of course. How about UFC 259? Did you take Jan Blachowicz or did you take Israel Adesanya, AJ? Remind me. Because I remember taking Jan Blachowicz,
I took.
and he won.
Yeah, no, I went with Blowy. Yes,
No.
because I didn't go against the Magic
You
Rope.
went
I
with
didn't go against the Magic
Adesanya.
Rope.
You went with Adesanya,
No.
Fred.
No.
Tell him.
No. I know.
Yeah,
I
you
went
did.
with
Adesanya.
Blachowicz.
I remember that.
Yeah.
And I
went
think
with
AJ
Blachowicz
also.
because I
AJ
didn't want
did
to go
too. AJ did too.
No, because
Yes, you
I
did.
said
We
Israel
can go
keeps
back to the
dancing too
show.
much.
We'll go back to the show. We'll find it. Don't worry.
You have to find it, man.
And Stipe
I think
and
the Magic
Francis.
Rope.
Stipe and Francis. Didn't you take Stipe?
I
I think you did. And
I
I
did.
yeah,
Yes,
you
I
did.
did go with
And I
Stipe.
and I took
You know,
Francis. Yeah.
It's because I
It
saw
just
kind of
goes on and on.
I'm like, it's
Yeah.
Stipe style.
Masvidal and Usman. Who'd you go with there? Masvidal? Because I went with Usman. Like we could just.
With the Masvidal? No. I went with Usman on that one.
All right. Well, that was easy. How about Chandler and Oliveira? I went with Oliveira. How'd you do there?
Did you really go with Oliveira?
I think so. Yeah. No, I'm pretty sure I did.
They flip-flopped on that.
No, I
They
didn't.
flip-flopped on
No.
that.
The Chandler and
it was a
Oliveira.
flip-flopper.
No, the last Oliveira
Because
fight.
I feel I'm the
I was
one
flip-flopping.
that predicted the Oliveira wins.
No, I had the first one with Chandler, but the last one I didn't have with Poirier. I took Poirier. I'll admit to that. But let's just
Listen,
say
man,
for the
that's why we
most
need a
part
reader.
of last year,
Let's
AJ,
have
even
a
the
reader.
beginning of last year, I killed you on picks. You were terrible.
Listen, man, I'm going to tell you, get that reader out so that there's no, like, disagreement. At the end of this year, man, we'll see who comes out with, like, the most money.
Well, we record the shows and we give our picks. There doesn't have to be disagreement. You could just go back and
You could even put the cat on there,
See
the
what-
cat that always goes against us.
see what you've done and see your mistakes and, learn from
No,
them.
no. Have that reader, man. Freddie, get the reader up, man.
Freddie,
your
get the
tech stuff. Do
Freddie,
it.
get the reader up, whatever that means.
I don't know what that
No,
means.
Freddie
man.
is
Me
supposed
neither.
to. Well, you know what it is. It's the bet reader, man.
No.
It'll show who's winning between the three of us. And then you'll see that AJ brings you more money at the end.
Yeah.
Just saying.
All right. Well, we will see. And Angelo going first time betting on Bet99, and he is a super chat leader. Thank you, Angelo. And he's going with Team Dave against Team AJ, and hopefully Angelo wins some money this weekend, and we all do. On Team Dave, it's the Ringside Report Network, and I'll be back here tomorrow night, like I said, after SmackDown, and that's it. Like the video, subscribe, become a member, and I'll see you tomorrow night. And guys, we'll be back here next week at 8:30 to preview UFC 270, and then maybe AJ will be here at some point, but maybe not. Okay?
No, I'm coming. I'm okay.
I don't think so. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll talk to you again real soon.